Okay, so another day, another HOH series, man. This one over here is for Tina, and we're beginning with Rammstein, and it's called Zeit. Now, there's a message from Tina over here that says, a song with the usual powerful and provocative video for Rammstein. I think it's something for you. Zeit is something to be the most atypical Rammstein song. By the way, the credits are somehow musically part of the song. Now, we haven't done much Rammstein on this channel. I think we might have done like one or two, and I know they're quite they're a very different type of band, right? I think they're a German band, and they've got a very unique style. Not sure that it's my kind of genre, but like I say, I appreciate anything. Essentially, we'll obviously break this down and see what this is about. But let's get into it, man. I don't mind going down the Rammstein discography as well. So for those of you who want to watch additional content, also I'm going to be putting up additional content on the Sphere today, and yeah, you can literally just go to the link in the description and take a look what's there. Let's rock and roll, man. Let's see what we got. Rammstein, Zeit, let's go.
Manches sollte, manches nicht. Wir sehen doch, sind wir blind. Wir werfen Schatten ohne Licht. Nach uns wird es vorher geben. Aus der Jugend wird schon Not. Wir sterben weiter, bis wir leben. Sterben lebend.
Wow, I love that line over there. We keep dying until we live. We are consistently dying, right? You're not living. From the moment you're born, you're busy dying. That's why it's so important to actually live, because you are busy dying. Every breath you take is a breath closer to your grave.
Sterben lebend in den Tod, dem Ende treiben wir entgegen, keine Rast, nur vorwärts streben, am Ufer winkt Unendlichkeit, gefangen so im Fluss der Zeit. Bitte bleib stehen, Zeit. Das soll immer so weitergehen.
Time shall always go on. What I do like about the way they have created this video over here, it's almost as if they're on a boat and they're actually almost looking as if they were maybe shipwrecked and they're trying to look for an island, or they're trying to look for land or whatever else, and then the rough storms come. So it's kind of like a metaphor for life, essentially. But they like the fact that they're playing the video in reverse, right? So it's almost like looking back. It's reminiscing at the tragedies, reminiscing on the traumas and things like that, and actually going back. So they were in the water where it was that was their demise, right? So if you actually think about yourself in terms of like, if you think of your death first and you look backwards, essentially. It's like, what did I achieve before I died? So you put yourself in that kind of situation where you are in your deathbed, and then reverse your life from there and be like, okay, but what did I accomplish? What did I do? What were the storms that I went through? How did I handle that? It's all very introspectional. So I actually really like this. I like this. And it's very different to what I've heard from Rammstein before.
Again.
Okay, playing it into the war thing, got it.
Warmer Körper ist bald kalt, Zukunft kann man nicht beschwören, duldet keinen Aufenthalt, erschaffen und sogleich zerstören.
He's speaking about this in the context of war. So it's like, you can't conjure up the future, right? The future is what the future is. What you can do is you can control, all you can do is you can control your today. You can't control your tomorrow, right? You can try and shape your tomorrow, but that very quickly can change. So you can have a specific plan, a specific dream for tomorrow, and then bang, world war, and your whole tomorrow is fucking down the drain, essentially. So you can't actually conjure up tomorrow, right? You can forward think, essentially. So you can forward think about tomorrow and what you want to achieve and how you want to achieve it. But if tomorrow is not given in the way you want it to be given, that throws your plans out, essentially. So it's kind of like speaking about how you can conjure up your today using your yesterday, but you cannot conjure up your tomorrow, right? Come on, man, that's fire. Let's go.
Sogleich zerstört. Ich liege hier in deinen Armen, ach, könnte es doch für immer sein. Doch die Zeit kennt kein Erbarmen, schon ist der Moment vorbei.
The video is very interesting.
Bitte bleib stehen, bleib stehen. Zeit, das soll immer so weitergehen. Zeit,
wow,
es ist so schön, so schön. Ein jeder kennt den perfekten Moment.
I like that he's playing this into like the sands of time, and then the sands of time kind of become like the tree of life, essentially. And the tree of life are the women that give birth to human beings, and that's the very beginning of life, right? And I like it being portrayed as, you know, the woman wearing white. Everything's like very pure. Everything's blank canvas over here, right? And then how you shape and how you mold your life moving forward, kind of like play into the sands of time. But then that can also get disrupted by alternate forces, so by external forces, essentially, like governments, like societies, and like things like that. So you are born into an actual system. The system puts you into a certain structure that it wants you to be in, and then somehow sort of frog marches you into the way they want you to live. They use you as a pawn, essentially. That's why it's playing it into the actual war. It's almost like you become the cog in a war machine, right? Although your life is beautiful and the time given to you, it's such a precious thing, right? Because there's only a finite amount of time that you have got on this earth, right? And everyone's out there trying to almost blindfolded, which is what we're doing over here. And even the women and the mothers over here giving birth are somewhat blindfolded to their own lives, somewhat blindfolded to the beauty of their own children, because there's a bigger, more powerful force that controls human nature, whether that be greed or whether that be war, whether that be whatever. It kind of all connects, right? So it's trying to actually show there's a beauty, there's some beauty aspect, there's a beautiful element of our existence, right, that's given to us as a gift, but it's very quickly snatched up and nurtured in a very sort of nefarious way, played by the character over here with that funny light in his face or whatever else. Anyway, that's kind of what I'm sort of piecing together. It's probably not unpacked too well, but that's where I'm at. Brilliant video.
Wenn unsere Zeit gekommen ist, dann ist es Zeit zu gehen. Aufhören, wenn's am
When you know, you know.
Die Uhren bleiben stehen.
The clock stands still.
So perfekt ist der Moment, doch weiter läuft die Zeit. Augenblick, verweile doch, ich bin noch nicht bereit. Zeit, bitte bleib stehen, bleib stehen.
That's mad. That's literally the crossover over there. So it's basically he came for his daughter, right? So obviously the anguish and the agony that he's going to experience now. And it also kind of gets you to think about life in that way, to cherish every single moment, because you don't know when your loved ones or when anybody in your life, nothing's guaranteed essentially, right? Time is not guaranteed. At some point, you know, the time that you want with your loved one, you always think about it when you have your children, when you have your family and things like that. You never really think about the demise. You think that you've got an infinite. It feels at least like that when you're not thinking about it, that you've got an infinite amount of time with that loved one. And sometimes that can get cut short. So that's the whole idea to this, is you need to cherish every single moment in that moment, right? Have some gratitude for what you actually do have, because you never know when it's going to be taken away. You never know when this Grim Reaper type character is going to come and take that person and cross them over from the physical into the spiritual world, essentially, right? Take them over there. It's very well represented, which I think is absolutely awesome over here. Very, very clever. But even the other world that they're going into, where the representation of time being represented by the sand is quite cool, because time, sand essentially, if you put it in that hourglass, almost acts like it's fluid. Like time is like this fluid concept, but when put it in that hourglass, the way it actually moves, it's almost fluid-like essentially, and it's always sort of like seeping through essentially. So it's not something that you can grab. It's always, you know, you can't hold it together. It's always I'm not sure if I'm explaining it well enough, but it's always in motion is essentially what I'm trying to say. And then crossing over that barrier. Now, over here, it almost feels like it's taking that person because that person's needed elsewhere, right? The person you love. So it's taking it from your realm, but it's going into a different realm because it's needed elsewhere, which is a very nice way to represent that, because it feels like as a sort of energy, like a universal energy, it's kind of like you have a purpose not only in this realm, but you have a purpose elsewhere as well. Right? So it's like it depends on the time that you're taken. It's because your time is up, the purpose has been achieved on this earth, in this physicality, but then you get taken into another realm where you'll provide a purpose there, essentially. I don't know if that was the intention of the actual video, but I don't know. Let's carry on. It's actually very cool.
Bleib stehen, Zeit, das soll immer so weitergehen. Zeit, es ist so schön, so schön, weil jeder kennt den perfekten Moment.
I like the idea of the actual stone. It's almost like the busks in the frames over there, where it's kind of solidified. So like sort of your purpose and what you did, your legacy gets solidified in stone over here. And even if you think about it, like you come from sand, you go back to sand. You come from earth, you go back to earth, essentially. But, right, what you did here, right, your achievements, your legacies get set in stone. Now, it gets set in stone within the hearts of the people that you shared your life with, and then it kind of gets memorialized on your stone that is literally placed in the soil at the head of your grave, essentially. So it's very clever that they're playing with the sand and the stone and the, you know, sort of like being immortalized in a certain way, as if, you know, you were somebody of substance, somebody that added something, somebody that cannot be forgotten because of what you know, it's almost like you've set it in stone. It's now concrete, what your achievements were here. Very cool. This, I must say, is probably the best. We've spoken about this before. Well, we just spoke about that. Loved the instrumentation, loved his voice, loved the concept of the song. I mean, this is a kind of song that, you know, just off the bat, of listening to it for the first time, you know, your thoughts kind of get very misplaced. So like, my thoughts are very scattered because, you know, but if I have to go back over again and I have to make some notes on this kind of thing, you could get really philosophical in this. You could get really detailed in this. It really does sort of like tickle and jog your fucking mind. Conceptually, I think it's beautiful. This is probably the best I've heard from Rammstein. We haven't done much of Rammstein, right? But this over here is incredible. This is the best one I've ever heard from Rammstein. You guys let me know what you think down below, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.